The Sales Perch, a weekly podcast discussing sales styles, techniques, and strategies. Today's episode is called the Yes Momentum Close, how to get your client used to saying yes. Hey guys, it's Joe Bird, Sales Perch Podcast. Thank you so much for listening. So today we're going to talk about the yes momentum close. So basically it's real simple. You're getting your client used to saying yes. We're going to talk about how it's good and bad, how to use it like from a real cheap sales trick to like an actual Jedi mind trick sales trick. So we're going to get into that. Before we do that, I always like to talk about last week's episode and see how it played out in our world throughout the week. So last week we talked about the trial close, and the trial close can be done a couple different ways if you remember. So the trial close, you can give somebody a free trial of your service. You can say, hey, if you buy this, here it is. It can also just be as simple as getting people to envision themselves. So could you imagine sitting in this chair watching Sunday football in your new house? Could you imagine driving with the top down in your new convertible on a beautiful sunny spring day, whatever it might be, right? So you're just getting them to sort of try it, whether it's physically, mentally. So how did this play out in my life over the last week? Well, I had hired a service to do something for me, and part of their sales pitch was you get a free trial. You get a 1 week free trial of this service, and if you like it, this is how you proceed further. Sure, what's the harm in trying it for a week? So I put a reasonable amount of effort getting everything ready for him, and my expectation in this was the trial is going to be as you said it was, and I'm 100% signing up for this service. It didn't go that way. The trial, frankly, was lackluster. It was really felt like halfway done. Like nobody actually took the time to care and figure it out and do anything. They just sort of pushed through. And frankly, I didn't sign up for the service. Now remember, I was ready to sign up for the service. I probably would have signed up for the service without the trial. The trial is what got me over the hump, but I probably frankly would have signed up for it because it sounded really promising. But the trial ruined the sale for them. So when you're doing the trial close, you have to be super careful that you're providing real value and you're not just sort of halfway doing it, expecting the sale to come anyway, and just whatever. So super valuable. The free trial, whether it's mentally, physically, all that is great as long as that person has a good experience. When they don't, it is the antithesis of a sale. It is the exact opposite of closing. Didn't work. I'm glad I tried it because and who knows? Could the service, the actual full service that was paid for, could it have been worthwhile? Certainly is possible. Very well possible that the level of service I would have gotten at that point may have justified the price, but based on the trial, it did not. So don't use it that way. Use it in a positive way and make sure you over-deliver when you're giving that trial. So today's episode, let's get into the yes momentum close. Now it's all these are simple, right? Sales isn't that hard. It's simple. It's intentional, and it's using psychology to influence others, right? We've talked about that. Sales is influence. It's not that hard. The yes close is unbelievably simple. You want the consumer to say yes. You want your prospect to say yes to what you're selling. The yes momentum close just gets them in the habit of saying yes before you get there. Before you get to the actual close, you're just getting them used to saying the word yes. Therefore, it's easier for them to say yes at that point. Now, how can it be used effectively? How can it be used weekly? How can it be used ninja style, like Jedi mind trick style, right? So the simple weak way to do it, and this doesn't really work, is to get them saying yes about stuff that has no bearing on anything. Hey, is the sky blue today? Yes. Is it a little windy outside? Yes. Are these hardwood floors? Yes. Now that can be a really good one. It can also be a really bad one. Is, whatever. Just getting them to say yes about stuff that has no bearing whatsoever on what you're doing when it's used in the Jedi mind trick way, which we're going to finish with, super incredibly effective. But if they can sense that you're doing it to them, sale's dead. Just dead sale. They're not gonna say yes to you because they feel like they're being tricked. So the key to all this is for the end consumer, your prospect, to have no clue what you're doing. So we're going to talk about that. So how can it be super effective in sort of a more overt, obvious way without the Jedi mind trick side of it? So the overt, obvious way, hey, so if I remember right, you said you're going to be moving to Florida after you sell this home. Is that right? Yes. Awesome. And you said you wanted to be there by February. Is that right? Yes. Perfect. Makes perfect sense. And you said you wanted to sell as is because you just don't want the headache. You got so much going on down there. You just can't, you want to make this things easy. Is that still the same situation? Yes. Perfect. So you're getting them used to saying yes. You're affirming to them that you listened to what they said during your prospecting call. You're affirming that you've paid attention and listened. You're affirming that you understand their situation, and you're asking them to affirm back to you. They're getting in the habit of saying yes. And it's directly about things that are related to what they're doing. Super effective. Now, how can we take that a step further? How can we take that to what I keep alluding to is the Jedi mind trick of the yes momentum close? You're going to do those things we just talked about. You're going to affirm to them that you've understood and listened and you have a grasp of their situation. In doing so, you're getting them to say yes over and over and over again. But now you can do it a little bit more, but a little bit more subtle. So you walk in the door, right? You say, hey, thanks so much for meeting with me. I really appreciate you taking some time. I have my laptop here. I have my iPad, or I have my notebook. I have my presentation, whatever. Do you mind if I just set it down here while we walk around your house? Yeah, sure. That's fine. No problem. You see shoes laying there on the side. You know that they're shoes off type people. Hey, I'm going to go ahead and take my shoes off. That's what you'd want, correct? Yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah, that's great. Cool. You don't see them, you don't offer, because then they say no, don't worry about it. Now you're getting them to say no. You don't want them to say no, you only want them to say yes. So as you're walking through the house, hey, these are LVP floors, right? Yeah, good eye. Okay, great, sure. Or these are hardwood floors. Or, hey, is this carpet pretty new? Yeah, okay, great. Or, is this the original carpet? It's held up really well. Yeah, it is. Okay, great. Just things that are involved in the sale of the house. You're just subtly getting them to say yes. It's not about the move. It's not about selling. It's just affirming things that you know. But what you're doing is you're showing them your expertise, showing them you know what you're talking about. You're showing them that you're paying attention, and you're getting them used to saying yes. So you combine the two of those very small, subtle yeses throughout the meeting. And then again, when you sit down, hey, I know when we spoke on the phone, I just want to recap, make sure I haven't missed anything, make sure I haven't misconstrued anything. Maybe we had a bad reception or something, but this is what I thought you said, and, confirm the timelines, where they're going, their motivations, everything else, which makes them know you're listening. It also inspires them to be wanting to move, because selling a house is not a fun task, right? It's not an enjoyable thing. That's a necessity to get them to what they need to do or what they want to do. So by focusing on those, you're keeping them motivated, you're keeping the momentum going, and you're getting them used to saying yes. So when you wrap up for the close, it's a builder for the close, right? You wrap up for the close, you say, hey, it's been wonderful sitting down with you. We've gone over the marketing plan. We've gone over, what the market value of your house would be. Are you ready to proceed and get to Florida? Yes. Sign here. Bam, 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 bam. Right? Super effective. It works in all industries. Obviously all my stories are based on real estate because that's the world I live in. But frankly, this works for everything. If you're, selling cars, same kind of thing. Hey, if I remember right, you said you really wanted a white car. You'd be okay with, black or gray, but really white's what you'd really want. Yes. Perfect. Thanks for listening. Great. If I can get this payment to this, are you ready to proceed? Yes, I am. Great. Perfect. Works in every industry. Get them saying yes. Don't make it cheesy. Don't talk about something that has nothing to do with anything. Make it relatable. Make it relevant. Close with a yes. Thanks for listening. Joe Bird with Sales Perch. Have a wonderful day. Thank you for listening to The Sales Perch by Joe Bird. Having sold over 1,000 houses personally in the last 12 years, in addition to running one of the top real estate teams in the state of Maryland, I am looking forward to imparting my knowledge and wisdom, as well as sitting in the trenches with you to learn alongside you.